Liv, give me a test.
Test, 1, 2, 3.
All right. One more time.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Can you project a little more and bring that mic to your mouth?
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Give me another one.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Again.
Testing.
Can you bring that closer to you because you're kind of quiet.
Testing. I can barely hear myself.
Yeah, you got to project, honey. You're not projecting. You're like whispering. So you gotta project, honey.
Okay. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Do it again.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
One more time.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
That's not too bad. Here we go. All right. Wait. Give it to me.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
That's much better. Sound better?
Yes. Well, it's a little quiet, but I'll let you know during the show because it could be the music.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. We're on pre-show. Pre-show is what we do before the real show. That's right.
You're going to see behind the scenes what it takes for me to get ready.
Yeah, and trust me, it's a lot. We got Spreely joining us in 2 minutes, so we just kind of do a little pre-show, get warmed up, say hello, everybody. We have a new commercial tonight. I spent a lot of time on it. I hope you...
Spared no expense.
Spared zero expense. We're going to play it. It's like 2.5 minutes, though, so you're going to have to deal with that. But we've got obligations, folks. Make sure you like the show. You got to throw those likes out there, please. It's really important to get those up. 9, that's not enough. Let's get to work. It's good to see everybody. Did you guys have a chance to watch the recorded show this morning? We didn't go live in the AM, but we did have a recorded show, and I had my new monitor, and it went very, very well. Very excited about that. What else is new, Liv? Anything else new?
Allergies. I don't know if this is allergies or I'm getting another cold. I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
But my right eye and my right nostril are dying right now. They keep twitching.
Yeah, you're not feeling too hot?
But that's okay.
Well, you look good. Well, our clock's a little off, folks, so we're going to go ahead and punch it and get it started now. Thanks so much for watching. We've got a good show. It's full packed. Remember, the new way of doing things is kind of come on with a pre-show, say hello, for the first 10 minutes before 7, and then right at 7 o'clock when Spreely comes on, welcome Spreely TV. In fact, you guys are going to be able to see your Spreely advertising pop up here in just a second. We got about 2 minutes for the intro, and then we're going to be rocking and rolling, so we should start at 7:05. Hang with us if you're on Spreely TV. I know it's a little bit different, but we're used to social media, so bear with us. We're getting there. Here it comes. Let's start the show.
Hey, gang, Dominic Izzo, host of the Rants of Izzo show here on Spreely TV, reminding you, watch my friend Matt Spear on the Dumb Show daily as well here on Spreely TV. You're going to get talk, news, trending politics, all social issues, everything entertaining and engaging and educational. Do it. Watch it. The Dumb Show, Spreely TV, home of free speech. Speak freely here at Spreely. Pretty damn cool. Spreely TV and the Dumb Show.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
So here's the new setup. Oh, you son of a motherless. So everyone's like, hey, what's the new setup look like? Okay, so let's walk you guys. We'll do a little bit quick behind the scenes. There's the moon. Then behind that, we have our blackout curtains, but understand we have blackout on the drapes too. So there's no light in here, 24 hours, 7 days a week. There's my first camera, second camera's back there. Here's the control panel. So this, and I'm sorry it's laggy, but this is a wireless connection. And then you've got computer. Here, let's do this. There we go, that's much better. There's the old power panel that does all the audio processing. Then you've got another phone. Oh, we got an iPad over here. You have a firearm, those of you who get triggered. Then the old Mac, which it's not old at all. It's actually state-of-the-art M1 chip. But now I got a new monitor up on top. So when I stand up to the stand-up show, there we go. Got a couple lights overhead. No, you guys haven't even seen this. Here's Olivia's station. Let's see. Hi, Liv.
Hi, I'm sorry, dealing with Culligan. We have a delivery tomorrow. just now, I had to.
You can't say hi?
Hi, everyone. Sorry.
Okay, there's Olivia. There it is, folks. That's pretty much that's the way it works. Not a bad little rig, but it's a lot to it. But this is something that we're probably going to start doing when we do the club, do the behind the scenes. I've got some exciting news to share. I had some COVID weight that I put on because I just wasn't. I didn't care. I'd worked out for like 6 years straight. So I've dropped 10 pounds in the last 2.5 weeks, and it's just from eating right, taking care, and I'm feeling at a really good weight. Like I want to hit that 225 mark, and then it's back in the gym, but it feels so much better. Gosh, it's just, the COVID sucked, but feeling so much better. Olivia, you look great. Let's get to it. We got a lot to do. You done yet?
No, I'm still talking to him, but I'm gonna. Sorry.
So what's their problem?
Oh, they just wanted to confirm that the delivery's coming, so I had to have Hayden go run downstairs to see where we're at with salt in the machine to know exactly how many bags to bring. Yeah,
well, and I don't want them dropping it up here.
Yeah, that's why
tell them to drop it on the back door.
Well, they can bring it inside the house.
Or do that.
That's why I'm texting.
I mean, I don't mind lifting. It doesn't bother me. I mean, they're only 50-pound bags. I mean, come on.
I'm just seeing what time.
I'll just have to do 4 at a time and not push myself. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. We got a busy show tonight. We're going to just show you a few things. We got RFK in the house. Yes, RFK Jr. will be here. We have a very special guest. No, I'm kidding. He's not going to be here. But there's a video, and it's of CNN, and it's a good one. I showed you a snippet of it the other day when he said that Joe Biden was more of a threat to our democracy than Donald Trump. So we're going to watch that. I did a news article today on ESPN host Sage Steele. And yes, I know it sounds like a porno, but it's not. Sage Steele, she was let go from ESPN. Well, she had some things to say about Joe Biden that their interview was 100% scripted. So wrote the article on that if you haven't heard it. I did the audio. Olivia did the audio last night. She did a great job.
I plan to do a few of them this weekend.
Yeah, everyone said how great of a job. Nobody said I did a good job, but everyone said you did a good job.
I'm still trying to convince Hayden to do one. Honestly, I haven't even asked her. I forgot. So I'm sure she would.
Little projecta. I'm
sure she will love to do one.
Okay, good. Keep projecting, okay? Because you're doing this pull away thing. Just put it in there.
I'm out of breath. It's hard
to
talk right now.
Well, we shouldn't have had sex before the show. Moving on, KJP and Doocy get into it again. And, of course, KJP looks Stupid. And then I've got a meltdown from a guy named Jebra Fauci or some crap. I don't know. The guy's an idiot. And he's very angry, very sweaty. And he's going to yell at you a little bit about Donald Trump. So it's going to be a good show. Let's do me a favor. Everyone get out there. Please share it, like it, all that type of stuff. Obviously, with the bridge collapse, a lot of people came in, and now it's starting to slow down. So we can anticipate things to go back to normal until there's a big news break. But that doesn't mean we can't have some fun. Doesn't mean we can't watch it. Let's get started. First topic. It's the beautiful person's choice on the table. What do you want to watch? You didn't listen.
No, I was.
You don't even know what the topics are.
It's something about KGP being stupid. Sorry,
That's what you want to start out with?
Sure.
Okay, we're just going to go in order because you're killing me, PD.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Can you focus now?
Yes, we're
you
done.
Sure?
Yes.
All right, let's just imagine the topic here because I didn't have time to do slides because
Just saw that.
I had to do the beef commercial.
That's hilarious.
The beef commercial is fantastic. I think you guys will like it. Olivia and I got our first shipment of beef, and it's delicious.
Yes.
And we're very excited to offer it to you at a great price. So here we go. Let's watch this first. This is the CNN interview with RFK. It is about 7.5 minutes, but it's worth it. We're going to kind of comment throughout, but we don't get to hear enough for this guy. By the way, Sandra, thank you for sharing. Everybody, thank you for sharing, liking the stream. It means a great deal. Let's get to 100 early, folks. 100 likes early. Let's not wait till the end. Let's get to it. Hit those like buttons. And then also, if you would like to comment on the show, you can do that, or you can call in if you want to. Just let us know you're interested and just say it in chat. And then obviously you can go to linktapgo/The Dumb Show if you want to contribute and donate to the show and get your name up in lights. We do appreciate that. Here, let's watch this. That's not bad. 4 minutes passed, considering that we were late. Good. Spreely people, thanks for hanging in with us. Here we go.
Worry about how people.
Now, the first thing people are going to say before we even start is that his voice is annoying. Okay, listen, I've listened to this guy for hours, and you get over it. But this is an issue with his vocal cords and his larynx, and who cares, right? The guy makes some very good points, but he probably would sound a little less Looney Tunes sometimes if his voice was normal, and you'd be like, wow, this is a real smart guy. You got to get past that. Honestly, it doesn't bother me. Jimmy Carter, in my opinion, had a speech impediment. Joe Biden pretends he does, so it should be okay that this guy does. Okay, here we go.
I misinterpret my words. What I said, I mean, and I'm careful about how I use language. Oh, I'm not saying that election was just, that there was cheating. I've never said that. What I've said is that.
I believe that when people talk about the threat to democracy that Trump poses, do you really think that is an equal evil to Biden?
I mean, listen, I can make the argument that President Biden is a much worse threat to democracy. And the reason for that is President Biden is the first candidate in history, the first president in history that has used the federal agencies to censor political speech, so to censor his opponent. I can say that because I just won a case in the Federal Court of Appeals and now before the Supreme Court. It shows that he started censoring not just me. 37 hours after he took the oath of office, he was censoring me. No president in the country has ever done that. The greatest threat to democracy is not somebody who questions election returns, but a president of the United States who used the power of his office to force.
Listen, I would rather have RFK whisper sweet nothings in my ear that my wife does and replace her with him rather than listen to Hillary Rodham Clinton be the president of the United States for 4 years. So I can handle him okay. Better than that shrieking eel. The cliffs of insanity. You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. Why do you ask? Perhaps it's a fisherman out for a pleasure cruise in eel-infested waters.
What does it say? Inconceivable.
You're so fired.
I know. It's meant to be
You
too
are
long.
so...
I'm
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
as you wish.
I was just wondering, do you have 6 fingers on your right hand? Do you start all conversations this way?
True love.
Wav. True wav.
But can't get us going on movies.
Knowledge. Anybody want a peanut?
Okay.
Social media companies,
No more rhymes now. I mean it.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, to open a portal and give access to that portal to the FBI, to the CIA, to the IRS, to CISA, to NIH, to censor.
Tommy, sorry, I appreciate you guys giving me credit for doing the articles with the podcast, but can I just be honest with you? It has nothing to do with me. That it's all Christine Klug. She came up with it, and we implemented it. This is what happens. Viewer feedback. You give us feedback, we do it. No, I will not start an OnlyFans account, but the other feedback I will absolutely listen to.
Political critics. President Biden, for the first president in history, to use his power over the Secret Service to deny Secret Service protection to one of his political opponents for political reasons. He's weaponizing the federal agencies. Those are really critical threats to democracy.
Donald Trump, of course, tried to overturn a free and fair election.
Oh, come on.
He tried to overturn one, right? He's still fighting in court.
Yes.
How is that not a threat to democracy?
Well, I think that is a threat to democracy. If him trying to overthrow the election clearly is a threat to democracy. But the question was, who is a worse threat to democracy? And what I would say is, I'm not going to answer that question, but I can argue that President Biden is, because the First Amendment, Aaron, is the most important. Adams and Hamilton and Madison said, we put the guarantee of freedom of expression in the First Amendment because all of our other constitutional rights depend on it. If you have a government that can silence its opponents, it has license for any atrocity.
So just to be clear, you're saying you could make an argument that President Biden is a worse threat to democracy than Donald Trump. That's what you just said.
Yes, lady, that's what he said now for the third time. And if you would take your shite out of your ears, you would have heard him. And he explained it very well. You know, if it's all about questioning the election and that is a threat to democracy, well, then I've got over 3 hours and 198 examples of Democrats saying the exact same thing about 2000 with the hanging Chad, Al Gore, and Bush election, and also 2016 with Hillary Clinton and Trump, and also Stacey Abrams in Georgia, the same things. So if that's all it takes, and okay, well, they tried to swap out electorates. Well, so did the state electors, so did the Democrats, as they ran a full-page commercial all over the New York Times, Los Angeles Times, ran it over every city in the newspaper, and played a national TV commercial saying, we don't want you to change your vote. We just don't want you to vote for Trump. You can vote for anybody. You can go ahead and represent anybody, but just don't. And actually, they had 19 state electors vote for Hillary Clinton against what the state wishes were in 2016. How is that not an insurrection? It's not. So let's stop pretending that what Donald Trump... Now, you guys know how I feel about this election shit. You know what I think. I think Trump should have stopped beating that drum a long time ago. I think Carrie Lake should shut up and try to win her Senate seat. I think we need to stop saying that, because all you're doing is disenfranchising voters and you're cutting your own throat. It's interesting. For 3.5 years, Donald Trump said the system was stolen and broken, and now he's asking y'all to vote. Which one is it?
Exactly.
So I don't know. But what I can tell you is that censoring speech, taking our guns away, whittling away, against Christianity, whittling away against the Constitution of the United States is a far bigger threat than what Donald Trump did. I don't care what anyone says. I just don't care, because in the end, Donald Trump was not successful. Okay? So the positions and the parameters in place and the safe locks were absolutely 100% effective, where Donald Trump could not do what you accuse him of. But Joe Biden certainly can go after guns. He said he's going to do it with an executive order. He's openly said that he's going to go ahead and oppose these states and stop funding states with abortion. He has openly asked social media companies to censor pages like mine and others who speak out against him. There is one who's getting away with it, and there's a one who did not get away with it. Give me a break. Clutch your pearls somewhere else, people.
Who else has ever tried?
Liv, did you want to add on that, or did I just, God, you're hot.
Who else has ever tried to censor? What president in history has ever tried to censor political opponents? What president has weaponized the federal agency? When my father came into the Justice Department, the first week he was there, he got all of the branch and division attorneys together, and he said, whatever we do, we are not going to use...
Sherry Johnson, you know me better than that. I'm reading what you're writing. I'm with you. Let's take a moment. I want you to cry, and then I want you to suck it up, rub some dirt on it, and get back in there and stop feeling sorry for yourself. Let's go. I know how hard it is. I know what you're going through. We love you. We appreciate you. We care about you, but I'm not going to coddle you. You need all the strength in the world right now. We will give you all the prayers and thoughts, but you got to be strong for somebody right now. And that's your job as the matriarch of the family. And it's the same thing that my wife did for me through my back surgery, through my addiction. And it's the same thing I've been putting up with her, period, every single month since we got together, which is just as bad as all those things. So you gotta pony up, get strong. We appreciate you. That's called tough love. All right? Love you.
The power of the Justice Department for
Trump,
political
of course, has
reasons.
said that he
and
would
what
do
we're
that.
seeing is,
He has said that.
Did you notice how I said that, your time of the month is like one of the most tragic things that I have to go through? Isn't that funny? You didn't even hear that, did you?
No.
God, see, this is what happens when you don't pay attention. I can
Well,
just talk.
I'm trying to figure out the whole chat on Spreely thing. So
Oh,
I'm
come
getting
on,
upset,
man.
so I'm trying to-
Come on. You're not tech support. Just listen to the show and relax and have a good time. I love you. I know you're not feeling sorry for yourself, Sherry. Don't take it personal. We love you. Come on now. I'm not saying you're feeling sorry for yourself. Come on now. I'm trying to give you motivation. If that doesn't work, then I'll do something else. I didn't
see her original comment. So
I'm trying to get your mind off of it and think about something else. If that wasn't the right word, interject the right word there. If you needed a hug and a kiss and you're the best, you got that. But I'm also telling you got to be strong right now. Husband needs you. You know that. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Love you. You're not feeling sorry for yourself. Okay? But what I'm saying is feel sorry for yourself a little bit. Get that out. Cry. Take a shot of whiskey. Get back in there. We love you.
of course, and that is
All right, Sherry, I'm an asshole. Sorry, I was trying to help. I'm a prick. Sorry.
And he is the only president who's tried to
Can't win with people.
overthrow the results of an election.
Well, let me say something about that. I'm not going to defend President Trump on that. That was appalling. And there's many things that President Trump has done that are appalling. But in 2001, we had an election stolen in this country during the Bush-Gore election. In 2004, I wrote an award-winning article for Rolling Stone that showed how that election was stolen from John Kerry. So I don't think, and most Americans agree with me about 2001, that it was a stolen election from the Democratic Party candidate. So I don't think people who say that the election is stolen, not that we shouldn't make pariahs of those people. We shouldn't demonize them. We shouldn't vilify them. What we should be doing is saying, let's all get together, Republicans and Democrats, and fix the election system so that it cannot be fixed, so that we're the exemplary democracy of the world. We ought to, Las Vegas, let me tell you this, Las Vegas is built on machines that can count and never make mistakes. Can't we make an election machine, and can't we have an electoral process that every American says whatever happens,
okay, hold on,
it can't be fixed.
I understand that we want elections to be as perfect as they possibly can be.
Yeah.
And one should not use the fact that the election was not stolen and was not cheated to not try to perfect it. I understand that distinction. But when you do as you're doing and you open the door to, well, we want every machine, you're opening the door to people who can say, well, then that's exactly what I'm saying. The machines miscounted, the machines did this, but they didn't. Every single analysis has shown that that did not happen, right? As you know. Do you worry that you're opening the door for people to believe this? Look at the Republican primary voters and that they believe.
I'm not worried. I don't worry about how people might misinterpret my words. What I said, I mean, and I'm careful about how I use language. Oh, I'm not saying that election was that there was cheating. I've never said that. What I've said is that there are problems, particularly, Aaron, if you don't have paper ballots. The election machines can be fixed in various ways, and that's just a fact. What we ought to have is we ought to have machines, and we ought to have paper ballots at the same time, and we ought to have a very low threshold to get a recount of the paper ballots. And that just makes sense. It's common sense. But if we implement that in every jurisdiction, you're not going to have problems where Americans at each other's throats.
So you're talking about a technical thing, like instead of having 0.5% be the trigger for a recount, you would put it even lower. I mean, that's the sort of requirement you're talking about here.
Whatever. I'm not. choosing a particular threat.
Peter Baromatomomo. No, Barlotto. Mar-a-Lago. Peter Mar-a-Lago says FK RFK. No. It's not FK. It's RFK Jr. There is no FK in his name. I don't understand where you're getting that. In fact, I don't even know if that's. Let's see. There's junior. There's the third. There's senior. There's consigliere. There's Esquire. What am I missing? There's Duke. There's Duchess. Is there any other monikers that I'm missing? I don't know what FK stands for. Fantastic.
Empress, Emperor, and Empress?
Emperor, EMP. Yeah. So FK. Let's see. Fantastically cool. No, that's with a C.
Fun Kites.
Furry koala.
Ooh,
Furry koala RFK. I think I understand. This guy must be Australian.
He's a furry.
He's
He's a furry.
a
My gosh,
dude.
you discovered it.
He's Australian. Oh well, g'day, mate. Australian for beer. Maybe go down and go ahead and get a little shrimp on the barbie.
RFK's a furry. Who would have thought?
Welcome to the Dumb Show. We love having Australian people here, man. And furry koala to you too, buddy. Furry koala to you too.
But a threshold that makes sense. That's a very low threshold.
Okay, now I need to figure out what's going on with Sherry, because now I've got to stop. I'm telling you, 15 weeks ago that a man whose father passed away. Melissa. Wait a second. What? Words can join David. Meant to be only 61 years. Depression is so real for these vets. It's for all you do. Okay. Someday I'm calling in, but not tonight. It's a fight to get through the days lately. Don't worry. I will get through this. Just hard sometimes, but I'm surrounding myself with nothing but positive thoughts and prayers. My husband having cancer as well. It's a fight daily. Well, that's what I was talking about, Sherry. I did read your comment. I read it again. And you know I'm sympathetic and empathetic, and you know I care. But my job isn't to coddle you. I'm just going to give you what I've been told in my life when I'm at my lowest is you gotta move forward, because if I'm not mistaken, your husband is depending on you. He has a terminal illness that I hope he's battling through, and you are the matriarch. You are the concrete. You are the foundation. You are the person that's going to get him through, because he loves you eternally. That is my point. So when I say feel sorry for yourself, you have maybe I didn't say it properly. I want you to feel sorry for yourself. I want you to get your cry out. I want you to go ahead and put your fist through the wall if you need to. I want you to take a couple shots if you need to. Whatever you need to do to get some things out so you can go put on that brave face. Because right now you're going through a hell of a time, and I want you to fight hard like hell. This is where I retract, because sometimes I don't say it like a Hallmark card. I don't know how to say it like a Hallmark card, because I don't believe in that. I believe that you take things head on and you just go through a wall. You have my condolences. I love you. We love you. We appreciate you. I understand. I did not mean to make you feel small or that you were weak. That's not what I was intending to do. So that's
Check
why
your text. I just sent you a text.
Why?
Because I got a message from the group. I don't know if it needs to be public or not, so I just
Holy
sent you a text.
moly, drama. Here we go.
Not drama. I didn't see her comment, but after you read it and I got that message, I can understand.
That's what I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's because I can't see all the messages. All I saw was someday I'm calling in, but tonight I've been crying for days. I'm emotionally exhausted. It's a fight to get through the days lately. Don't worry, I'm not suicidal. I'll get through this. It's just hard sometimes, but I'm surrounding myself with nothing but positive thoughts and prayers. My husband having cancer as well. It's a fight daily. That's the only thing I saw. So when you are in that state of mind, you are feeling a certain way. If you're crying and you're not able to function, you're feeling. Who are the tears? That's what my dad said to me. Anybody who's watched this show knows it. Are the tears for you, or is the tears for someone else? And now I understand that the tears were for someone else. But I didn't know that, and I didn't see that until I read the first message. I offer my deepest sympathies and deepest condolences. I'm trying to juggle a million things here. You understand how this is. I've already explained myself to the best of my ability. You have my 100% deepest condolences and sympathies. And the comment about feeling sorry for yourself was about the first comment, which is bad, which is terrible that you're feeling down and your husband has cancer. But my thought was that was it. There was no other message. So therefore, my thoughts were, he's got cancer. You got to fight. You got to push. You got to get out and snap out of whatever you're in and help him get through this, but not knowing about your mother-in-law or mother.
Mother-in-law is what I got.
Okay. So now that's a completely different show. Hey, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show, where it gets really, really hard to run a show, run video, keep people entertained, stay on topic. It's not easy. So all I can say is I won't apologize because I've explained myself where it should make sense. But I will go ahead and say that next time something that heavy and that serious, please message me. Everyone else does, and tell me so I know what's going on. So if we're going to have a conversation like this in chat, I can be sensitive to what we're talking about. That's my point. Okay. All right. Much love. Let's finish the rest of this.
Where you got to recount if there's some question. So, and that's, I don't think I'm saying something that's controversial. I'm saying something that I think most Americans, virtually any American, would agree with. Let's have an election system that even 10% of the Americans who are crazy people, that even they won't question, because our election system is the best election system in the world. And nobody, Vermont, for example, has a very, very good election system. Nobody ever questions the Vermont election system.
Well, I don't know. I got a question about the election system. Here's my question. Can anyone name another country in the world that allows paper ballots or that allows mail-in ballots? Can anyone think of one? Let me know what you think. Maybe look it up. Do any other major countries support mail-in ballots? And I'm not talking absentee ballots. I'm not talking overseas ballots. I'm not talking early voting system. I'm talking mail-in ballots where you are mailed a ballot and you fill it out like it's the Publisher Clearinghouse sweepstakes, and Ed McMahon is going to rise up with a space heater and some smelling salts and give you $1 million. Yeah, I'm interested. Someone let me know. Stacy, I will check. We'll do that after the show.
Yeah, I was just going to have her message me the info on it.
Yeah,
so
give it
check.
you can write matt@thedumbshow.com. I got a new email. It makes it real simple, matt@thedumbshow.com. But that's my question. Liv, let's look it up. Because it's my understanding, every time I've been overseas, I don't believe mail-in ballots are done anywhere in the world. And that should make everyone scratch their head and say, wait a second, why? So we'll take a look. We'll fact check that, okay? Let's watch the rest. We're almost done.
And we ought to be able to do the same thing in every state. We are supposed to be the template for democracy in every country in the world. Let's make sure we put a man on the moon. We've had all these accomplishments. Let's make sure we have a system that nobody is questioning, even crazy people.
People are always going to question it, though.
Well,
They're always going to question it, and that
you want to narrow the margin of people who are questioning it to as much as possible by giving nobody any kind of legitimate claim about it. And that's all I'm saying. And what I'm saying is I'm not saying that President Trump won the election or that President Biden. I've never said anything or suggested anything like that. All I'm saying is let's focus on the issues that bring people together, than constantly focusing on the polarization, on the issues that drive Americans apart and have us all at each other's throats with this very, very toxic polarization and demonization of each other.
I want to ask you, I mentioned at the top of the program.
So
I found it.
Yeah, I did too. Go ahead and tell me.
So before the vid, about a quarter of countries had used postal ballots in their national elections. So out of 166 countries where the data was available, 40 used postal ballots. That's what I got.
Okay. So
Paper ballots are by far the most common form.
right. Whoa, BK, thank you for the donation,
sir.
buddy.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate you, brother. That means a lot. That helps out and makes things go round. Has someone made contact with Sherry? Because I'm going to stop the show and call her if nobody has. That's literally where we're at. Like, I'm just going to pause the show and call her. So if nobody is in contact with Sherry, would you let me know? Because it's important enough for me to stop the show and just give her a ring. Many of the countries that list adopted a mix of voting systems. France banned in 1975 because few instances of fraud. Mexico banned it. Belgium, Sweden. Yeah, so Italy, Ukraine. So it comes down to this. Is mobile ballot boxes, overall mail-in voting, these things have an opportunity for fraud. And my whole problem with this is that I'm not saying that there was fraud. I'm not saying that there isn't, but we know that there were validation issues in several states that they circumvented the validation of these ballots with signatures, with addresses. We know this for a fact. We have eyewitness testimony that just came out today where a gentleman was on the stand, swore under oath. And if we can't trust...
I'm taking care of it on the med.
No, nobody's talking to her. So I need to listen. This isn't the first time this has happened. I will not allow a viewer to feel worse when they come on and they were looking for solace. That's not okay with me. And I know Sherry's purchased something from the site, and see what I can see here. All right. Let's see. Sorry, folks. I would do it for you. I would do it for you.
Or Amy's going to try.
No, I'm going to do it. I'm already here. Why not? I got her Facebook. See, I've got all these wonderful toys where I can do these type of wonderful things. All right. Okay, I'm gonna write an email. That was easy. There it is.
Only one run of the Jeopardy.
Yeah, it didn't take too long. It's worth it, though. Dear Sherry, please come back. And I'm going to do something I don't do. I apologize. Oh, my God, I can't believe I did. For not reading the first email. Love you. Appreciate you. There it is. Review email. Send from the Don't End Friendly Show. Sherry, check your damn email. All right, there we go. Here's what it comes down to. This show is not more important than somebody who's going through a hard time. We have stopped this for veterans. We have shut it down when we were concerned about a viewer. In no way, shape, or form. I don't know how. Liv, can you help explain this? Can you explain the way that I empathize or show sympathy to people? Can you help?
Yeah, you're tough love, and even with me and the kids, you're always tough love. You don't coddle, and that's fine. But when we just need a hug or just need an ear to listen, and we don't want your opinion. We just want to be heard.
It's pretty good. Yeah, and that's what it is. And so I want you just to consider, this isn't about, I don't care. It's not my pride. If I look like a dick, I look like a dick. That doesn't bother me. It happens all the time, surprisingly enough. But what I don't want is to be misunderstood is that I didn't read the first email. I read the second one.
We consider you guys family.
Yeah.
And friends, and we love all of you, and we want to make sure everyone's okay. So if someone's going through a bad time, we want to make sure
that's it,
that everyone is good.
Yeah, and I never want to make anyone feel worse, but the response to a second email, I think people would be like, I totally understand that, but I didn't read the first one because I can't see it. So far, we've had how many hundreds of comments? So, you guys got to understand this isn't easy. And it's really hard playing bartender when you're trying to run a show. But that's the bartender in me, is I listen to people as they put their foot up on the railing and lean over and have a drink. So that's it. Do you need that power, Sweet Pea? Here you go. There you go. So, that's it. Enough said. I just wanted to go ahead and say it. I don't know.
My mouse ran out of battery, so I can't comment for a minute.
That's good. Maybe you can pay attention. So it just comes down to this when it comes to the voting. is I think there's nothing wrong with questioning the integrity of our elections. And when people say, not an email, just saying, no, I can't, if I don't have her phone number, I can't call her. So I've done what I can, which is an email, and there it is. So I just want them to ensure, here's what I want. It's not that I want the government not to spend money. It's not that I don't want the government in our lives sometimes, because oversight and regulations are important on some occasions. What I want them to do is I want them to balance the frickin' budget. I want them to stop spending frivolously. And when it comes to elections, I want them to get the overall election roster of states fixed. California has 1 million errors on its overall rosters for registered voters. And that's people who've moved out of state who haven't been updated, people who are no longer living, people who are registered multiple times. This stuff needs to be fixed. And when people say that it's not a fair election, well, it's not that it's not fair. It's that it's not consistent. And states have different value systems on what they need to count and what they don't. I want them to have, for a federal election, I want the presidential election to be autonomous from Senate, from state legislature, gubernatorial, mayor, city council. I want a day to vote for president, 1 day to vote for the president, and we get the results that night. And then you go ahead and you count all, then you do another day for all the other races. It's too much. It's too, if you throw 5 or 6 propositions on your ballot, and you go ahead and have to get city council, state legislature, senator, mayor, gubernatorial, it's too much. Sheriff, school superintendents. I mean, my God. I mean, how much time do you think we have? So I just want them to simplify the voting process. We need to either do paper ballots, which worked forever and was always successful, but now you've got mail-in ballots, you've got absentee ballots, you've got paper ballots, you've got electronic voting, you've got early voting, you've got late. I mean, come on. It's too freaking complicated, and too many opportunities to miss things can take place. That's what I want to see. That's what I want them. I want them to either, here's what they need to do. And everyone's like, oh, well, it'll be hacked. Listen, does everyone understand that Apple has never been hacked? Okay? Mac, iTunes, it hasn't been hacked. And trust me, they have to publicly disclose that if it has been, because it's a publicly owned company. Plus, I worked there a long time. But you could do key fob. You could give every single American for less than $1 billion, and that is no joke, give them a 16 to 32 pin every 60-second rotating key fob, which is a small little plastic calculator key. Or you can give them an app on a phone that they have to go ahead and verify by phone or by email and put in that 32-digit code and authorize a connection to us.gov. And you're talking password entry, key fob entry. You can run them through a VPN portal if you want to. And then you have overall security of the network as well, and any back-end encryption that the government has. You can't make it safer than that. You can't make it safer than that. Because I know on my World of Warcraft account that I have millions of gold sitting on my WoW account, and Koreans try to hack that thing all the time, and they cannot. Two-factor authentication and a key fob, they cannot get into it. They just can't. The amount of equation that would take, and you're talking 512 megabyte encryption, it's just not going to happen. So, and I don't care if the police can make you unlock your Apple phone. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about doing digital voting on your phone. If we can go ahead and vote for The Bachelor and American Idol, I think we can do this.
Yeah.
I think we can figure it out, because I'll tell you what, the moment that you put human beings involved doing physical counts, you're going to get error. You're going to get error. And as long as you make a system which is key fob generated, that every single American has a key fob which is changing every minute, you will get through. That's what I want to see. Somebody says, well, in signature verification, why not thumbprint? Isn't that better? I mean, they've already got all that shit on you anyway. So why don't we stop pretending that the government doesn't have our thumbprints, that they don't scan those in now, that they don't have our DNA, they don't have our blood type, they don't have our overall sequence. Of course they do. They've got all that information. Every time they draw blood, they get that information from us. Anytime we've been, processed in, for drinking a little too much or whatever, you get thumbprinted. You get it at birth now. My daughter and son were digitally scanned the moment they were born. And we got bracelets that allowed us to go ahead and match them with our kids so nobody snatched them in the hospital. There are ways around this, but either we go full digital or we stop the digital. Either we do full paper or we stop the paper. But we need one way to vote. And this whole early voting crap where you vote 3 months no. And none of that crap. Just vote. Everybody pick up their damn phone, put in your key fob, put your thumbprint scanner on it. For those of you who have an iPhone, if not, do facial recognition with a key fob, with two-factor authentication. The amount of freaking chance of hacking that is ridiculous. Yeah, but who controls the servers? Folks, all your money is in digital currency. All your money is in a bank. It's digital. Okay, all your stocks are digital. All the movies you purchased are digital. I don't know what you're thinking that somehow you're off the grid. You are the grid. Your phone makes the grid. Your phone has camera on it. Your phone has NFC technology. It's a recording device. It's a video device. So if you think you're off the grid, you're not. You're watching this show. You're either on a computer or you're on a phone. And let me tell you how many ways that phone can benefit with Intel collection inside your home, from your bank records to your checkbook to conversations you've had to where you go, where you surf, what you do, what you buy, what you don't, what you will, what you are. It's everything. It's a Dr. Seuss book. So can we stop pretending that, I can't put my vote in a computer, but I can go ahead and put my retirement, my 401k in a computer, because that's where it's at. When's the last time you went down and checked your 401k at Mutual of Omaha? Yeah. Who went down to Fidelity? You go down to the local Fidelity store, even though there isn't one? You went on your computer. So if we can trust that, we've got to figure out a way how to trust it with our vote. Thumbprint's a great idea. Facial recognition, key fob, whatever it is, hair follicle, penis size, sample size, blood size, I don't care. Whatever it is, let's get one-day voting and make it electronic. Got it? Yeah, and of course, you're right. Sandra's like, oh my God, I can hear black and brown people being discrimination. Well, here's the thing. You don't have to just electronic vote. You can go do a paper ballot. And then you get it scanned, which electronically puts it into the system, and they verify your ID, your thumbprint, your hair follicle, whatever the hell it is. I don't care. But if you say I don't have a phone, great, then get your ass down and do a paper ballot. So I just want us to understand that we can pretend that we're this we're Gene Hackman in Enemy of the State, and we're in a copper fibered frickin' secure environment with no emission coming out of that air. You're not. You're on the grid. You're on the grid. Suck it up. That's the way it is. All right. Has anyone seen
No, Amy sent her message.
Okay. All right. Next.
Hang on.
Oh.
You didn't. You commented the whole time.
I know. I got fired up.
Yeah.
What?
So I had nothing to say on the video. You normally ask me what my opinion is.
Oh, let's try that again.
Went
hey, Liv.
off the total
Hey, Liv, do you have something to say?
Yes, I actually do.
All right, let's get to the next video, folks, and we're gonna watch this other video. Go ahead, sweetie, please.
You're on a roll tonight.
I know.
So
I'll give a stool sample to vote. That's can I tell you a story real quick?
Sure, you can tell a story, dear.
Thanks, babe. So I had to get my they wanted to do a colonoscopy for my physical because I'm 50 in 2 days.
Friday.
Oh my God. 50 years old. I'm a half-century-year-old.
I'm married to a 50-year-old. A really sexy 50-year-old.
Thank you. That's a good save. That was a good back pedal. So They wanted to do a colonoscopy, and I'm like, ain't no man taking that route with me. And so they're like, well,
Wasn't it a female doctor?
yeah.
There you go. That's the perfect time.
Yeah.
Smaller hands.
Yeah, she didn't want to. Smells like cabbage. Small hands smell like cabbage. I don't think she wanted to. Like, I looked at her and I gave, a little
Charming.
little,
Your charming self.
and she's just like, no, we're not going to do this. And I'm like, oh, and I said, well, listen, my PSAs are good. She's like, listen, you're healthy as an ox. Your cholesterol is nothing. Your good cholesterol is there. Your blood cell count's perfect. Your testosterone is off the frickin' charts. You're fit. You're it's a good looking dick, Peter. And I'm like, thanks, doc. And she goes, well, we got to check your colon. And I said, okay, let's, she's like, no, we don't have to do that. And I'm like, oh, well, I kind of geared myself up for it, doc. I kind of listened to some Barry Manilow on the way over and, had a candlelit drive over, and she wasn't having it. So she goes, well, you can do something else. I'm like, oh, I could do poop in the box. And she's like, that's right. You can do poop in the box. And I said, well, can you order me one? She's like, sure.
A poop in the box.
Right. So Olivia and I were going to do poop in the box,
Oh,
like
gosh.
1, you open the box, step 2, you unscrew the box, step 3, you poop in the box. And we were going to do this whole,
The SNL skit.
dick in a box, but poop in a box. So,
It was pretty
let
funny.
me explain something. I know this is gross and I don't care because we're all family. And I get to embarrass myself tonight because I offended a viewer I care about. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little embarrassing myself. So you get this. First of all, it's like a hermetically sealed box, right? Like you pull the tab and then
Kids wouldn't even touch the thing.
it opens up, and then you open up. There's like a biochem bag in there, full seal, right? And you open it up, and it's this plastic. It's got to be $40. It's this just hermetically sealed pot that you unscrew plastic PVC and you just twist off the top, and inside, there's these rivets and a filter screen and everything. And it's just this high tech. It looks like a flux capacitor, right? It's like, you're like, if I get to 65 miles an hour, 1.21 gigawatts, Marty, so I think we're gonna go back in time or something. This thing's so cool. And it comes with stop it. Don't give me this good grief bullshit. Just shut up and listen.
Who's doing that?
I don't know. Shut up. Listen. This is a great story. So you get this little thing where you lift up the toilet seat lid and you put this plastic little holder with a circle in it, and then you put the.
Now you know what your days are going to be like in the home.
Will you let me finish this? You let me finish the story, please? God, I got my sound effects going and you're interrupting me. What's wrong with you, Leroy?
Leroy's not here. I
Yeah,
have to
Leroy
represent
is here. Leroy's very much here.
with better hair.
Yeah, a little better, huh? Anyway, so you put that thing in there, and then you're supposed to sit in there. Now, listen, anybody who's collected pee knows that it's extremely hard. And as a guy, you can't just start and stop midstream. Oh, you can if you want to go ahead and just squeeze, but that gets uncomfortable, and that's not good for the prostate. So with women, you guys can't stop in the middle because it's gravity, right?
Oh, we can.
Okay, fine. You can.
Muscle.
Whatever. So guys, we can, but when you get older, so you got to kind of go a little bit, and then you got to estimate and go, all right, I'm at 50%, 40%, and cup, right? And then pull off and then finish. Okay, so that you can't do that with poop in the box because as a man, there's no.
You were not this descriptive before. I'm really cool with not listening to the rest
Shut
of
up.
the story.
It's gravity, right? It just goes. I'm not being descriptive. I'm just talking about natural gravity. So when you start, they want you to, and it even says, I'm sitting on the toilet, I'm like, okay. And I'm sitting on this uncomfortable piece of plastic and I'm reading this thing. I'm like, what the? Once you begin to go, then stop and remove the tub. And I'm like, how in the shite am I supposed to do that when I'm sitting on it? So I do all these things, right? And I'm like a chemist, dude. I'm just sitting here going, and I'm throwing one leg over my head to try to balance this and do it. And I get it all done. And I finally get it into the tub, and it's the most uncomfortable, just weird thing ever. And I'm like, how do men do this every year? And then you have to pour this formaldehyde into it. You pour this jar in there and you shake a little salt and some pepper and, do some other things. And then you seal it up. Now be careful, don't shake it. Oh my God, before it's sealed. And then you seal it and you put it back in the bag and you Ziploc the bag and then and all the locks go. And then you send it off. And it literally shows up that day. They come and pick it up, you drop it off, and it's delivered within hours. All right. So, do you know what I get? Literally 12 hours after I poop in the box. Regretfully, Mr. Spear. I'm like, what? Was I just declined from college or a loan? No. It's colon guard. And they're like, we're sorry, but your sample was inadequate. Inadequate? Listen, lady, I don't know what you're saying, but no, that was not inadequate. They said, unfortunately, it's okay. This happens in men quite often. I'm like, you sexist sons of bitches.
Because women don't have to do this.
And then they said, but we're going to send you another sample box so you can do it again. And I said, I'd rather fucking get colon cancer. There's no way I am going through that emasculation process again. So I will say this, poop on the box, screw you. All right, Liv, what do you want to talk about in the video?
Women have to get mammograms every year, freaking get squished.
Oh, yeah. Let me know when you have to put your boob in a box.
That's pretty much what it is. And they freaking squish you. And then a woman's feeling you up the whole time and putting you in places that boobs were not meant to go. It's not exactly fun. So, just letting you know, we do that once a year. It's awesome.
I'm just letting you know it was the dumbest thing ever. And then to be rejected, your poop isn't good enough. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, not to mention the annual female visit too, because that's so comfortable.
I felt like I was the guy who was picked last on the football team. They're like, I'm sorry, Mr. Spear, your poop's not good enough. My poop isn't good enough? I can't believe it. Anyway, so
not to mention having to pee in a cup when I was pregnant like 100 times during the pregnancy.
Oh my God, you are still bitching about your experience.
Yes, because you've done it one time and I've been doing this like freaking since I was 18. So yeah, no, I think I win.
All right, well, go ahead and tell me your thoughts.
I don't know anymore. How did we go to paper ballots to pooping in a box? I'm so lost right now. I apologize to any new viewers. This is not a normal conversation.
Give me a break. This is exactly a conversation. This is exactly what they want, the human side. It's not always about just politics. I mean, sometimes we got to, bond with our viewers. And what's more bonding than poop in the box?
Nice.
All right. So did you have a thought on RFK Jr.?
I actually had a thought on the video, and I happen to agree with him on the fact that, yes, Biden is definitely more of a threat to our democracy. But the one thing I was thinking about was every time I watch a CNN interview, whether it be the town hall with Donald Trump or any interview with anyone, I was like, they're trying to get the answer they want. Thank you, Bubba.
Thanks, Bubba.
And it reminded me my card trick that my dad taught me when I was 10. You know that card trick where I shuffle it and I know what the card is on the bottom, and then I ask you different questions every single time to get the answer that I want to make it look like, ooh, I'm magic. I know what card you picked.
No.
Okay. I'll have to do it for you.
I remember. It's the one card trick you know. How could I ever forget?
Trick, yes.
The one that you always ask me if I remember? Yeah, I know.
Yes, that one.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what the CNN anchors remind me of, is that they are just they're asking you the same question in different ways to get the answer that they want, and they won't move on until they get the answer that they want. And if they don't get the answer, they get hostile.
Do you want to know what that's called?
Sure.
It's called begging the question. And you're basically begging to get someone to say something you want them to say. It's also like leading the witness, but this is what they do, and they lead you down a path to answer the way they want, and they won't stop until you do. It's a great observation, and it's definitely what CNN does. We're almost at 100 likes, folks. We got 175 on. Throw three more, folks. Let's go to the next topic.
Facebook's being I don't know.
What?
Facebook is not working very well. It's having issues. It keeps pausing, and then I'm not getting any. I posted something 5 minutes ago and it just posted.
Yeah, Facebook's been having some problems lately. But you know what? I don't care. Everyone else is doing fine. We're showing some good numbers, and we're going to keep it up. Next, I guess that's enough with poop in the box. Folks, get your check. If you're a man, it's prostate cancer, colon cancer.
If you're a female, do your thing.
Will you let me finish taking care of guys, you sexist ass? Colon cancer, prostate cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancer is very serious. Go blue for September, and now we can talk about pink October. Go ahead, Liv.
Just go get your checks, females. I haven't done mine in a year and a half. I'm bad. I know. I need to go.
Yeah, and you're the one that needs to get it because you've had complications and precancerous cells. And what are you doing?
I don't know.
Okay, well then get your shit together. Okay. Literally.
I don't have to poop in the box.
Go poop in the box.
I don't have to.
So,
yay me.
You're lucky I love you. You really are. You're so lucky. All right, Sage Steele. Sage Steele.
It sounds like a romance novel.
Yeah.
Name.
Like that's Daniel.
In its own right,
that's
because
Daniel
it was
Steele.
No, I was thinking
I know.
Anastasia Steele.
Anastasia Steele. I'm 50 Shades of Fucked Up.
Yes.
Oh my God. What a stupid movie. What? Hold on.
What's going on?
What?
What? That's a excited.
Who's Harper?
It
Is that one of Hayden's friends?
was, yeah. Why?
Okay, we'll talk about it when we get off.
Okay.
All right, so this is Sage Steele. Sage Steele did an interview of Joe Biden before she was removed and let go. Bubba, did I get the PayPal message? I did. Did you want me to read the message? Sometimes people get weird. And I try to do the right thing, and then I get yelled at. Did you want me to read the message, Bubba? Because I've got no problem doing that, buddy. I just need you to tell me. It says, in loving memory of my brother-in-arms, Travis L. Griffin, taken this day 16 years ago by IED in Iraq. Rest in power, Griff. There you go, Bubba. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Appreciate the message. I just didn't know if you wanted me to read it. Yes, I read it. I absolutely read it. I just didn't know if you wanted me to read it. So there it is. Loud and proud, man. All right, so let's go into this. ESPN, Sage Steele had an interview with Joe Biden, and when she left and fired/quit, I don't even know which one. I think fired. She is now working with Bill Maher, and she has a secondary show in Bill Maher's network. And she was on Bill Maher, and in there she disclosed, and this is on the Dumb Show, you can go find it, news.thedumb.show, that she 100%, it was a canned interview. And everything, all the questions were done ahead of time, that he had someone sitting right next to him feeding him the answers.
Seriously?
That they had a black cloth around the camera so you couldn't see the reflection of the guy sitting right next to him. But everything was fed to him, and he was absolutely just incoherent. I want you to listen to this, and then I've got the Bill Maher one. But this is interesting.
Here as we get set for a wonderful day in sports. Opening day for America's national pastimes.
This was about 2 months after he took office. That was an interesting experience in its own right because it was so structured, and I was told, you will say every word that we write out. You will not deviate from the script, and go. To the word, like every single question was scripted, gone over dozens of times by many executives, editors and executives. Absolutely. I was on script and was told not to deviate. It was very much, this is what you will ask. This is how you will say it. No follow-ups. No follow-ups. Next. I knew that this was a lot bigger than just the wonderful editors that I worked with. This went up to the fourth floor, as we said, that where all the bosses, the top executives, the decision makers are, the president of our company, the CEO, where they all work.
Here as we get set for.
So that's the first video, and then I've got the second one for you, and this is the one that's really revealing and pretty descriptive. And Bill Maher the entire time is just totally Bill Maher, stoned out of his gourd and drunk. But of course. But he's in this small chair, and they tower over him. He someone like says, it looks like he's in a high chair.
Why does he sit in that small
I don't
chair?
know. It's Bill Maher. He's a kook, but he is exposing some really good stuff. But this is interesting. Listen to this.
I interviewed Biden. Honestly, I don't like him. I think he's a terrible president. However, forget that. The human aspect of what we're witnessing right now with him, to me, is heartbreaking and it's inexcusable.
Right.
By the family. When you knew during the election, and that was my point, is so we're taping it, not live. It was satellite. It wasn't in person. We're having a technical issue. And so I had to BS. I had to chit chat in waiting for us to start
To
rolling.
him?
Yes. Well, what he started to do, of course, he has someone next to him and they keep a black curtain over the lens of the camera so you can't see him until the last second,
Right.
which you can hear, and we're chit-chatting. He
Right.
goes, what is this for? And I'm sitting there going, because my mic's on, everybody's listening in the control room.
Wow.
And he's like, who am I talking to?
Oh.
Wait, what's her name? And so I'm trying to just fill time. And he said, I used to play football. He goes, and I had the best hands. And what do you say to that? And then I said, oh, so you were a receiver? And he started to explain it. And here's the saddest thing. His voice just trailed off. He said, I was good. And then he went silent and he goes, oh, never mind. No, you're laughing. I thought it was so sad because I realized that's why he was in his basement during the whole election cycle.
Right.
Because even then, he couldn't finish his sentences. He struggled. So forget about politics. I don't care. I didn't vote for him. However, that made me sad.
So it's interesting, right? Because you have a situation where you want to you want to know that the president of the United States somehow knows what the hell they're doing, and it doesn't give you a lot of confidence when you have people who are starting to come out and drop the hammer on him and say everything about him is fake. Everything is completely, he's Weekend at Bernie's. Like, to have a guy sitting next to you in an interview to help you during pauses and intermissions, and that's weird.
Yes.
I mean, that's like, I'm just expecting, him to be propped up and tie his shoelaces to two guys and go down to, where did they go? Staten Island for the weekend or something, and have Bernie, sleep with a prostitute and do cocaine and go surfing and water skiing.
Why not?
And you just, it makes you wonder. So your thoughts on this, Livy?
Well, my first question on this is, I'm sure has nothing to do with it, but ESPN, what is an ESPN host doing a political interview?
Well, that's the thing.
I'm very confused.
When Disney bought Fox, they got the ESPN package too. So ESPN started to become woke and started to do political comments. And that's where you started seeing some of these hosts get political. And it was pretty bad. I mean, what is the guy, Stephen Murray, or what? I don't remember what his name is. He's just an obnoxious host who just yells at the Farkin TV all the time. And Stephen A. Smith. And he was extremely political. And then you saw Shannon Sharp doing it. And multiple channels on ESPN went completely political. And instead of doing sports, they started doing political commentary.
That's ridiculous. Keep politics out of our sports, please.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So at this point, we are going to take a quick break. Olivia and I, there's 2.5 minute commercial. It's part of our thing that we're going to be doing now. So instead of, showing something in the beginning, showing something at the end, showing something, we're going to show you the commercial. So listen, a lot of work went into this, and this is sincere. This is the first Don't Unfriend Me push for dumbbeef.com. And I want you guys to just take a listen to what it says. Do me that favor and give it what?
You didn't let me finish.
Oh, crap. Liv, we're trying to get this done. Go ahead.
But you're asking
Stop
me.
asking your permission and just say it. Just interrupt me. Just be like
I don't wanna
Amy
be
and
rude.
Leroy and everyone else. Just interrupt.
I guess, yeah.
What do you want?
Never mind.
Give
then.
us your stupid opinion. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. Love you. Go ahead.
Well, I think it's very Very sad. I mean, did anyone have any questions that he wasn't being fed answers and that all interviews were canned? I don't think anyone in their right mind didn't believe that. And I mean, I knew that he had some early onset dementia, Alzheimer's, something, even during the campaign in 2020.
Yeah.
He was not all there. And it really this should be elder abuse, because it really pisses me off that they are doing this to him. And I don't like him as a person. I don't like him as a politician.
I don't even know if I don't like him as a person, right?
I mean, well, yeah, I've never met him personally.
We don't know him.
I don't know him as a person. I have no idea.
He's that type of guy that you go into a bar and after a few drinks, he wants to fight the whole bar.
Yeah,
I
don't know who he is on a personal level. I only know his public persona. So I have no idea. But the fact that his family members are letting this happen to him.
True.
His wife is a doctor. She should know. I mean, the fact is she should know that something is seriously wrong with him. And the fact that she's letting this happen is wrong. And I think it's elder abuse. And it is horrible.
Well, and it's not just his family, but it's the administration. It's people propping him up. And listen, the worst thing a country can go through is losing a president in office. And fortunately, it hasn't happened many times for the United States. And, you know, when you think of the two biggest, there's been more than this, but you think of Lincoln, you think of Kennedy, and that's not the only we've lost in office. But I think it's important to know that whether we love Biden or not, I would be sad if it happened. I don't want anyone to die. And I know there's a lot of liberals who want Donald Trump to do that, but I don't feel that way towards Obama. I don't feel that way towards Biden. I think they're horrible presidents, and I think they need to get out as soon as humanly possible, but I don't want to see them die. And I think that the country doesn't remember what that's truly like. Now, the closest that I got to it was Ronald Reagan, but that was an extremely scary time for me, as I was very much into politics. I cared very much. I was almost 10 years old. It absolutely had a resounding impact on me. And I don't think anyone would want to go through that. And then, of course, I felt like Kennedy was a part of me, even though I wasn't alive, vicariously through my uncle and grandparents and mom and dad, and my obsession, which it truly is, for the subject. I felt like I felt the posthumous effects from his death. So posthumous effects from his death. So anyway, I just think that nobody should want that to happen. And we have a choice in 2024. And that could happen to Donald Trump too. He's at that age. So we just have to be conscientious that we need to start getting some younger blood into the presidency. Just because you're old doesn't mean you're necessarily wise. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, sweetie, before I showed the commercial?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Just want to make sure.
Yes.
All right. Yes, son. Quick.
Can I have one of your yogurt cups?
Yes.
Thank you.
Are the Stros playing?
Yes.
Yes, I actually turned on the game.
Freaking suck.
Let's hope we get another no-no, because we have to put anyone in our bullpen. We're going to lose.
1-5.
Are we the only team in baseball?
I don't know. We're taking our break now. We're taking our break.
Oh my goodness.
You got to go. You got to go poop in the box.
Yes, I do.
Okay, go. All right, folks. New commercial, freshly cut. Enjoy. Maybe don't enjoy it because I can't get it to play. Maybe this is a sign. Hey, everybody. Matthew Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me Show. I want to talk to you about Prepper All Natural, high quality, made in America, freeze-dried beef. Now, some of us have been in the military, and we remember what freeze-dried meat tastes like. And I'm here to say I was a little skeptical, not going to lie. When we received our first package, I'll tell you, it looked almost exactly like I remember from a meal ready to eat. But that is where the similarities ended. The moment we prepped it into a stew, I had some of the most amazing recollection of when I was younger and my grandmother and my mom would make a stew and put it on the stovetop for the entire day. You'd walk into the house and it absolutely floored you how good it smelled. Very similar to that. And the taste was even more exceptional than that. Flavorful, robust, like a good hearty stew should be. And it doesn't matter how you prep it, whether you put it in some rice for some Spanish rice, or whether you go ahead and make fajitas or a stew, whatever you do with it, it ultimately tastes just like steak. The great thing about this company is it's all made in the United States, and they have a few things that they absolutely live by. These are non-negotiable ways that they do business. And to me, that's what really made us decide to endorse this company. They never sell lab-grown or otherwise artificial beef. They never allow cattle to be injected with mRNA vaccines. And they will never sell cows that weren't born and raised in America, like I said. And the greatest thing about this company is they are full of veterans and patriots. They'll never bow down to the woke mobs or authoritarian government or big ag or even that very frustrated vegan. The greatest thing about this company is that you get to decide your interaction. You don't have to subscribe every year, every month, or pay some annual fee. You simply go to the website, dumbbeef.com, make your selection, use the code DUM15 to save 15% off, because this is our site. The Don't Unfriend Me show is now selling freeze-dried beef. And it doesn't matter whether it's beef steak or New York strip or ribeye, even filet mignon. They have options for everybody, entry-level options, and also if you're looking to buy down the road, you want to go ahead and just have a good supply because we don't want to get into a situation we did with COVID. It's here for you. Whatever you need, whatever you want, 15% off by using code DUM15. Let me know. Send me pictures of what you make. I'm excited to try new things. I think we're going to try a chili next. You tell me what you're going to make. DUM15 at dumbbeef.com. Thanks so much. Give it a try. First commercial. I gotta say, felt good. It felt good to kind of try a product, get behind it, and do it. It took us a while to find something that I truly wanted to get behind. And that was one of the things we said with this show is that we're never going to sell shirts or hats or coffee that we don't stand behind. We're never going to sell wooden flags that we don't get behind. We're never going to promote a band like Still Point if we don't believe in it. Some of the comic book artists or politicians we've supported, I truly believe in this. I mean, it's so much that they gave us our own URL. I mean, dumbbeef.com. How cool is that? So we are officially in business. Go take a look. Once again, there's no pressure, but if you want to consider the cost, and you might look at it and go, well, $100 for this, you have to look at how many portions are in there and what that provides for you. You also have to look at the 10-year shelf life. If you go ahead and buy a thing of ribeyes and throw those in the freezer, how long are those going to last? A few months before they get freezer burn? Well, this is something completely different. So give it a look. Go over to the site. You tell me what you think and see what you can do. What is the sodium count? I'll have to find out for you. But like most meat, they don't salt, they don't prep, they don't do any type of additional preservatives or anything else. Freeze-dried is a natural process. So the sodium count of the meat that was already inherent in another steak would probably be there. I would actually anticipate that there probably is a little bit of salt loss and sodium loss from the freezing process. But I'll find that out for you. I'll give you the answer. But anyway, just something to think about. Once again, you get to decide. Appreciate the people who stayed on. We didn't lose that many, and it's a commercial, and sometimes people jump off. But either way, we've got to do what we got to do to pay the bills. Next topic. Oh, Liv, what did you think? I mean, I thought the stew was fantastic.
Thought it was great. It was yummy. I always like beef stew. So
yeah,
and you cook it really well. So,
but it's cool. The fact is that from the storage space, from an overall convenience, that sure it might not be something you have all the time, but how many times have we not gone to the store and we're like, crap, what are we going to cook for dinner? And
tonight when I forgot to take out.
Yeah, you forgot to take out the frozen chicken.
The chicken out of the freezer, so I had to get Chick-fil-A on the way home. Yeah.
Right. But if we would have had any left, I could have fried up some fajitas. Exactly. I could have done beef burritos. I could have done some chili. I done some stir fry, whatever it is. I mean, you can just go crazy. The only difference is you're not getting a giant steak, but it doesn't matter. It's good. All right. Anyway, Irish beef stew is good. That's right. You can do shepherd's pie with that. I mean, just unbelievable. Was the beef tender? Oh God, yeah. It's all soy vide, whatever. So you can buy the soy vide stuff, and that's what we got. So it's extremely tender, extremely soft. It reanimates because it's just freeze dried. Once you put it in, you boil it, fry it, stir it, whatever. It reanimates into beef. It was steak. It was steak, and it wasn't chewy. It wasn't weird. It wasn't like it was just delicious. That's that was what flipped me out. I'm like, how this is like Willy Wonka, everlasting gobstopper. So give it a chance, take a look, see what you think. Like I said, you got to justify the price and decide if it's right for you. But from a convenience standpoint and having it in an emergency situation or going camping, there's nothing. I will never go camping without it again. Like I will bring a box of that stuff camping because there's nothing like steak and eggs in the morning, and there's nothing like having fish tacos at night. And then, having that, it's so lightweight, it's right there. All right, I've done it enough. I can't give you more time on this. I could talk about it because I'm excited about it, but we've got other stuff to do. Next topic is we're moving. Let's go to the Meltdown guy. You want to go to Meltdown guy?
Sure.
No, let's go to KJP. We're going to go to Claude and Pierre.
So you guys started
Peter Doocy has been just drilling this lady. And he
somebody needs
somebody. Yeah, she obviously needs a good drilling. But this is Dottie asked me how many. Dottie, can we do me a favor? If anyone has any questions about dumb beef, go to the website. It's got everything there. They walk you through it. You can look at the bags, go in, see pictures, see what type of meals you can do. But it will tell you how many servings are in each prep. But it was very reasonable. I mean, steak, you can't get a steak for less than $12, a decent steak. So you got to look at that. But with the 15% off and the reduced shipping, it actually is quite reasonable. Take a look for me and go see so you guys, we can focus on the show a little bit. But that's what I want you to do. Go to dumbbeef.com and it'll walk you through everything. And then if you have any questions, just email me. Here's KJP getting hit by Doocy. Watch this.
Goodness.
Thank you. First, so you guys started draining the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to try and help with the Putin price hike a few years ago. You said you were going to refill it, but now it doesn't seem like that's happening. Why?
Well, I believe the Department of Energy is responsible for that particular component, is refilling that. So I would refer you to the Department of Energy. I know there were certain components to that and how they were going to move forward in refilling it. They would have more specifics on that for you.
Okay.
So here you are in a situation, and there's one more video that I want to play for you. But you're in a situation where you're constantly up there, and every time you say anything, you're just getting hammered because you never answer the question. And here's the question: when are we going to go ahead, and how are we going to go ahead and replenish our oil reserves? And when we're seeing price hikes in energy going up yet again, what are we going to do this time? We knew that Joe Biden, by releasing billions of barrels of our emergency reserve, ultimately impacted the price of gas and the price of energy in the United States, but it wasn't a real decrease in price. It was a false deflation of gas prices. And what happens when he gets in, if he gets in 2024 and prices are going back up to $7, $8, where people are anticipating those numbers to be? It's an interesting point. Liv, you fill up the tank quite readily.
Yes.
Where are we at with that, and how bad is it?
Well, it's definitely gone down from when he first took office, but it's still not down when Trump was in office. I think it was like 209 or 219 when Trump was in office, right at the end of his presidency. And then it shot up to like 475 or something when Biden took office. And then it slowly dropped down. It was in the threes. And then it actually got down to like 279 there for a little bit. Now it's back up to like 349. So it was like $61 to fill the tank the other day.
That's just crazy. I remember when we first got the Honda, it was like $42 or something like that. It's
I can't even imagine, because I remember when we lived in Arizona, we first moved to Arizona.
Yeah.
And I had the little Accord, so it was like a 10-gallon tank or something, and it was like, because it was like $45 for the basic gas, and it was like $65, and I was driving like 45 minutes to work each way, so it was like once a week. Dude, I was spending an ungodly amount of money on gas each month.
Right. Well, the whole point is he's losing on energy. He's losing on the border. He's losing on inflation, housing prices. The Fed is supposed to lower the interest rate on homes 4 times this year. He's right. It's March, April. We haven't even had our first deduction in the interest rate. What are they going to do? Are they just going to drop interest rate a month before the election 4 times? And do you know what that's going to do overall to the lending practices? What impact that's going to have on the economy? You slowly reduce rates because if you don't, it ultimately impacts and makes a false rush to market by seeing those ultimate low rates. And you're going to find yourself in a situation again where there's going to be massive lending at a low interest rate, which is going to devalue dollar, devalue investment. And you're going to see ourselves in another situation like this. There's only so many times you can manipulate currency. I love how they say that China always manipulates currency. Well, we manipulate it with the Fed, but they say the Fed isn't influenced by the U.S. government, by the president. It's really hard for me to believe that because Joe Biden's up there, calling for a reduction in the interest rate, and the Fed is saying we're going to do it 4 times this year. So,
well, he's the reason the interest rates went sky high.
Well,
in the
right,
first
yeah,
place.
which had to stem inflation. So, can you imagine? You have to stop people from lending and borrowing in order to go ahead and make up for the inflation happening in this country because of printing money at the level that they did. Good night. I love you, son.
Love you.
What's the score?
0-0.
Okay.
Got a 1-2-3 against the.
Honey, 0-0 is fine.
Yeah, and then,
That's all I need.
just got a single.
I love you. All right. So, it comes down to this, is that Joe Biden right now, his popularity and the overall inside numbers, a president has never been reelected with the popularity that he has, ever. It is so low. There has never been a reelection of a president with these numbers. And with the economy, with overseas conflicts and war being imminent, inflation and border and overall promises not kept, infrastructure, education, healthcare, these are the things that his constituents wanted. People don't vote on hate. They're not going to vote and show up just to put Biden in office. They already did that. And people are disenfranchised with him. He's in a world of hurt right now.
Yeah. When I was filling up the other day, there was a dude in a truck who was filling up as well. And I'm just minding my own business. And he pulls out his phone and takes a picture of the pump. And he's like, never in my life has it taken me $100 to fill my truck up. And he just had to take a picture of it to document it because he's like, I have never spent $100 on to fill my truck up before in my entire life.
Yeah, it's
just
crazy.
Ridiculous. I'm like,
what we can be really honest is that we haven't gotten a second. We had a second car, but when I left Valor, we lost our second vehicle because everywhere I've worked, I've had a vehicle provided for me, so there was just no reason to keep my vehicle. We haven't gotten a second vehicle. We just don't need it. I'm home all the time. Ethy's ball practice is right across the way. Hayden's play practice is right next to Liv's work. And there's a couple times where it's like, damn, I need a car. I want to go get a haircut, But the point is why am I going to go spend $1,000 extra a month on a car payment? I just can't justify it. Now,
especially now.
When we need to, we'll do it and we'll go buy Hayden a vehicle and whatever. But there's just no reason for us to own 2 vehicles. I'll probably get a motorcycle if anything because I just have no desire.
I don't want you to get a motorcycle.
Oh, God. Okay, Mom. But I have no desire to have $1,000 car payment. It's just stupid. I don't know why. I understand there's, 2 people work. I work from home. So it's easier for me to say that. But I just feel bad for the people when the average new car is costing people $1,000 extra a month. It's incredible. Folks, appreciate your support. We're going to have one final video here. If you have not had a chance, please go over and donate. Link tap go/thedumbshow or thedumbshow.com. It goes right to PayPal. You guys can do a monthly contribution or a single. This helps, keeps the lights on. This is the income that keeps the show going. It goes directly to the show, nobody else. We would appreciate it if you have some scratch. Listen, if you've taken care of veterans, if you've made sure you got the Mr. and Mrs. something nice, you got birthday presents taken care of, you got the summer vacation plans, you got a little extra in the pocket, and you want to throw it our way, we appreciate that. Take care of yourself first. Oxygen, you first. Then if you have something, we would love that if you would help support the show if you would want to. Last video is a crying liberal. Nothing better than going out on a crying liberal Just to let you
Is
know.
it the dude from Young Turks crying about the Hillary election?
No,
I love that video.
I hope we hear that
whenever
in 20.
Whenever I need a lift up, I watch that.
I
It
hope
just makes me smile.
I hope we get it in 2024 because I love Cenk Uyghur crying like a little fat baby. I don't have the video. Oh, there it goes. It loaded. I was like, we're not gonna be able to watch it. So, by the way, we'll be back on tomorrow. So this morning I did a recorded show. I didn't do it live. I wanted to feel it out with a new monitor and see if I could get everything set up. So I think tomorrow we will go live. And then what I'll do is I'll keep it real fast paced. Not a lot of interaction, just hammering it out, 30 minutes or so. And then we'll save the nighttime for our interactions and stuff. And, you know, hopefully we don't offend anybody tomorrow. Here's the video. I want you to listen to this. And then, Liv, I want your reaction because this is...
Top of which Donald Trump has been indicted.
This guy literally is like a sweaty... I would say he's on roids, but he doesn't have the physique.
It's not the dude with the hair. Nope. It sounded like him, the 12-year-old that goes on rants about gun control. That's what
hey, Glenn, that super long URL, just delete that. It's linktapgo/the dumb show. That's way too much for people to remember. So just keep it simple. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Just don't do the one from Facebook. You can just record or copy Maureen's. Okay. Getting a Harley, right? I don't know. I honestly, if I would like get an old Triumph or an old Panhead. I don't want a new bike. I want something that's kind of old, and that's expensive. I understand, but I want a classic. I'm not going to go that far. I don't even know what I want. If I need anything, you know, I'm ready to get a BMX. I'll just, you know, just bunny hop my way to the store. All right, let's watch this real quick. Amy says, I like the show as it was this morning. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I think I'm learning how to do it. I mean, I like sitting in front of the computer and reading off, but it's more genuine when it's just off the cuff. And I think that's where I'm going to go. And I think maybe what I'll do is once a month for the club, do a more PragerU type video, which is a little bit more in detail and stuff like that. I got to figure it out. But either way, I like the way that these live shows are going in the morning and at night, and it's really simple, and I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. No, Colleen, this is a live show. Here's the video.
Are you kidding me, law enforcement? Are you kidding me? Tonight in Grand Rapids, multiple law enforcement officers stood behind Donald Trump as he spoke. People that are elected officials like sheriffs, others hired to protect and enforce the law for the entire citizenry, not for a political party, explicitly forbidden from being a partisan authoritarian police force standing on stage, entirely unethical, probably illegal, on top of which Donald Trump has been indicted 91 times. He's liable for sexual assault. His entire business was found
85, not 91, 85.
Fraudulent. And law enforcement has the fucking gall to stand on stage with him. Enough is enough.
This looks like Gavin Newsom.
Heaven forbid.
This looks like Gavin Newsom's doppelganger brother, but you could drive a truck through his teeth. What is up with the sweaty? I mean, did you just get done working out? I don't understand. He's very angry.
I think he's in the bathroom. That looks like a shower curtain.
He's yeah. It looks like Mrs. Roper's dress from Three's Company. Or it looks like some sort of camo that you would wear in fall when you're hunting deer. I don't.
It's that Sissons dude. That's what he's going to look like in 30 years. I'm
just wondering, where do these people come? Listen, I can get angry. I've yelled before, but not like that. I mean, that's rage. I mean, you're literally like, if there's a cat anywhere near him, I feel horrible because that cat's getting kicked. If he has a wife left, she's definitely getting abused.
Oh my goodness.
This guy, like, I don't know when the divorce is going to take place. I just know that she's going to be better off as soon as it takes place. No matter what happens, that divorce, she's going to be better off. This guy, he's terrifying. Like. I'm not scared of him. This is the type of guy you just whack in the throat. He drops like a sack of potatoes. But this guy is absolutely out of his fucking gourd. You're screaming. You're in a rage-induced, manic, petulant tirade of temper tantrums. And it's all because police are standing behind Donald Trump. Do people understand that there's certain states that it's required for state troopers, if the governor is present, to also assist with protecting the president? Do people understand that? Not just Secret Service. Sheriffs can stand behind Donald Trump if they want to. Military can stand behind Donald Trump if they want to. There is nothing that says that he cannot interact with military, sheriffs, state patrol, government agencies. I don't understand why this guy is flipping out. Do you understand why? Because I don't get it.
No, I don't. But freaking, they could stub their toe and they'll freak out. They're liberals, and anything makes them freak out. Like he needs a safe space. Maybe the bathroom's his safe space, and he just needs to go over there and like sit in the corner and put his knees against his chest and wrap his arms around his legs.
Get a weighted blanket
and just rock back and forth gently, and cry and cry and cry, and like 48 hours later, he'll feel better.
Here's the thing: is that I understand that conservatives kind of have Trump idolization down to a T, right? We wear Make America Great Again hats. We wear Trump's. I've got Trump shirts, right? I don't know why. I do know why. It pisses off liberals, and I love getting stared at when I go out and eat. I love getting stared at when we go into breakfast because I don't care. I'm glad it offends you. Like, I want you to be offended. Now what? You're offended. Now what happens? Nothing. You just go about your day. Who gives a crap about if you're offended or not? I never wore a red MAGA hat because if someone would come up and slap that hat off my head, I'd go to jail. And I know I would. So I just don't put myself in that situation. So I understand that the right has like this, they treat him like there's some sort of demagoguery going on with Trump where they idolize him in ways that I don't agree with, okay? I like him, but there's people who think he's anointed by God, right? There's people who think that God sent Trump down to save America. And I'm just like, okie dokie, you need to stop drinking that sacramental wine.
Yep.
So that's okay. I get it. And the left, they're right. There are people who just way too much on Trump's wiener, okay? But as much as we may support Donald Trump and go to his rallies and wear his clothing, it is nothing compared to how enraged every person on the left is, like to a point where they are seething so hard. They are so unable to cope with Donald Trump that they have to figure out how to either get you to agree or destroy you in order to get their point across. Let me give you an example. Jesse Waters said it really well tonight. There's two examples, the difference between conservatives and liberals. Is conservatives want something to happen. Like they want marriage to stay between a man and a woman, right?
Yes.
But if they don't get it, they're not going to go ahead and say nobody can ever get married again. We are going to Are you listening, honey?
I am.
What are you doing?
My mouse ran out of batteries.
Who cares? We're doing a show, babe. We're the hosts. I need you because I'm going to ask you a question and be like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm going to have to tell you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Do you know what I said or I need to repeat it?
You're going to have to repeat it because after that I couldn't.
I know because I know you. And I'm like, you got to understand, you are not the tech girl anymore. You are a host of this show. And I rely on you to be, your witty opinions. So you got to stay with me because I know for a fact you can't do two things at once. So when you're over here fiddling around, I'm like, you're not going to know the question.
Well, I know you're going to ask me the question and then something's going to happen like poop in the box. And you're just going to go off and diatribe.
Oh yeah,
and
it's
forget that you asked
You're
the
right.
question
It's my fault that you're not paying attention. That's a fantastic. Thank you for making. I didn't realize that it was my fault that you weren't paying attention, but thank you for clarifying it. No, thank you for, you know what?
welcome.
You know what? Let's just go ahead and there we go. All right. So folks, Olivia's not going to be here anymore. So she's going to be, she had to go toity. She sniffs.
My freaking nose is so stuffy.
You're sick, but you're also crabby. Are you ready now?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Are we all better?
Yes.
I don't remember what I was saying. So that whole wonderful thing is gone because, I don't know what we were saying.
Talking about the leftists who freaked out.
Yeah, well, no, that was like 5 minutes ago. Now there was a one. Oh, I got it. So Jesse Waters, see, I train boarding at the station. Jesse Waters, it's the difference between conservatives, is that just because it's no longer a marriage between a man and a woman, and it can be a man and a man and a woman and a woman and whatever, and the states have passed that, conservatives don't go, well, we're just going to go ahead and stop marriage altogether, right? We're going to go ahead and just say no marriage for anybody. That's what Democrats do. So Democrats say either pass this bill where we give money to Ukraine and Israel and everyone else, Tom, Dick, and Harry, or we're not going to secure the border. And if we're not going to secure the border, we're just going to have open borders and we're going to let everyone in. And instead of going ahead and putting in and maintaining executive orders, we're just going to go ahead and eliminate all those executive orders and throw a temper tantrum. And not only are we going to do that, we're not going to fund the border wall. And not only that, we're not going to give money to ICE and we're going to go ahead and criminalize them. And we're going to break constitutional law by having sanctuary cities. We're just going to go ahead and say no. You just don't have a secure border. So this is what they do. Say we don't like Bud Light. What did we do? We just stopped buying it.
Yep.
We just stopped buying it. I didn't. I didn't care. Target. A lot of people just didn't go to Target anymore. What happened to Target? Target closed a shit ton of stores. What happened to Bud Light? Well, Bud Light, the chapter of Bud Light had to declare bankruptcy. So that section of Bud Light lost so much that they were unable to keep up their revenue model because people cancel them. Sports franchise cancel them, concert goers. I mean, it was they just got their asses kicked. So what we did is we forced the company to change based upon the opinion of the people. NFL, same thing. We just stopped watching, and they had to start doing military appreciation nights, military jersey nights, all that, showing some respect and deference for the flag, not showing we will overcome during the games, except for the Super Bowl, and not giving Colin Kaepernick a team. These things were to earn us back. What the Democrats would do is try to go after the owners and release their personal information
and threaten them
and destroy them and burn the whole thing down. So instead of protesting, where we will, petition and protest to our government, minus J6, but I don't recognize that. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I don't believe in that shit. But them, how many protests did they call for? How many people did they bail out for BLM? You've got Maxine Waters calling for protest, Nancy Pelosi, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, who are all calling for protest. And you had 184 riots at $2.5 billion in damage from BLM, and nobody said anything. So there is a very big difference between us and them. They want to destroy Donald Trump and anybody who supports him. And they don't care how it's done. They don't care if it's civilly. They don't care if they bankrupt him. They don't care if they throw him in jail. They don't want him to have a trial. They already think he's guilty. They want him destroyed. And I promise you this, if Joe Biden died, you would probably hear a few people get banned from my site because I would see them say something horrible. But honestly, I don't believe. I think people would say, I don't like him. I didn't like his policies, but Godspeed, and may God rest his soul. I believe to a liberal, they would celebrate, they would dance in the streets, they would bring out their rainbow flags, they would set fire to shit, and they would absolutely treat it like it's Osama bin Laden. New York and Los Angeles would have parades in the street chanting, ding dong, Trump is dead. I believe that with everything in my soul because I see it every day on my site. And yes, Republicans can be real assholes, but it isn't even close to the amount of things that I see from liberals. Liv, your thoughts. Thanks for sticking in there with me.
I can't remember if I said this on the show or if I said it to you off of the show. So if it's a repeat, I apologize. But I'm thinking that all of these indictments from Trump, that they're holding them back and saying, okay, wait, more information's coming, so we're going to hold it back. We're going to hold it back. And just so there's no trial. And they're going to just keep him busy with these indictments and going to court and all of this until the election, and then they're all just going to disappear.
Yeah.
Regardless if he wins or not.
Well, if he wins, Trump absolutely should pardon himself day one and when he gets in office. I pardon myself. It's come hell or high water, who cares? It's going to be 4 years of tumultuous hell anyway. You might as well just pardon yourself. And I said this last night, he should pardon Joe Biden too.
Yeah, they're going to impeach him day one, and it'll be the most impeachments in history ever.
If they have the House, if they have the Senate, they very well could, and they very well may get the House back. But people are like, Matt, why are you saying to exonerate Joe Biden? Because here's my opinion. Joe Biden should be held accountable, but he never will be. And this is a giant distraction. Everyone's like, bullshit. They've got to go after him. The moment he's out of office, he's carte blanche. They're going to do the same thing that they did to Trump. No, they shouldn't. No, guys and girls, no, they shouldn't. Because nothing will ever happen. And it's going to get to the point where all it does is distract from doing the things that need to be done for this country. We have got to get away from this constant retribution, this reciprocity, and just do your fucking job in Washington. Do what the people demand of you, because that's what your job is. It's not to have endless investigations. You are not the Department of Justice. You're not the executive branch. You are the legislative branch. You write the laws. You control the purse strings. That is your job. These endless Senate investigations, this is not the power of the Senate. This is not their job to subpoena people. These are added responsibilities that they were never designed to do. And now we are in this endless cycle of just going after each other. It's got to stop. And here's why I live. It's because it doesn't matter, because nothing's going to happen. So all you're doing is wasting money, wasting time, and you're not getting anything done. Do your frickin' job. What's wrong?
Oh, somebody said something in chat, and I wanted to look it up to make sure.
What is it?
I just heard that Ukraine's joining NATO, so I'm looking it up to see. Yeah.
Ukraine's not joining NATO.
Yeah, I was just like...
Ukraine's not joining NATO. Who said that?
Kristen.
Klug?
No.
Kristen?
Yes.
McSalty?
Salty.
No way.
That's why I was looking it up. I don't think it... well, that's why I looked it up, because it's salty. So
well, if Ukraine's joining NATO, we're going to World War III. It's World War III. So you better go get your beef. Dumbbeef.com. Get your prepper. Hold on. You guys, Ukraine is not... If Ukraine joins NATO, the first military movement in Russia is World War III. Ukraine is not joining NATO. I'm not even going to look it up. I guarantee you that Ukraine is not joining NATO. They may be close. They're not close. Ukraine's not joining NATO. It's not going to happen. Not until there's a peace treaty, not till Russia is completely out of country, because the moment that Russia invades, there will absolutely be World War III. We don't have a choice. Salty said it. All right, I gotta find out.
Yeah, that's the only reason. If it was somebody I didn't know, I'd be like, whatever. But
no, because she's, usually fairly...
Exactly.
Except for trying to order the other night. That was... That was a little bit of a nightmare, but otherwise pretty reliable. Remind me, I got to send out her books tonight.
She just said that's what Blinken said.
What do you mean it's what Blinken said? When did Blinken say this?
Hey, Blinken.
Okay, let's get serious now, because this is important.
Yeah.
When did Blinken say this? Secretary Blinken at NATO 75th. Okay, State Department. All right, here it is. Let's look at God. If this is true, we're all dead. Secretary Antony Blinken. Hey, Blinken. 75th anniversary reception. Distinguished guests, ministers, ambassadors, Secretary Blinken General. It's such a pleasure and honor to welcome all. Let me just speed read this, okay?
Still be in like the first paragraph. No. There's a video of it.
Well, I'm just letting you know. I just read the entire speech that was released 4 hours ago. Show me the video.
I just sent it to your text.
Okay. I'm just letting you know that speech that was released 4 hours ago, not one mention was of Ukraine. In fact, Ukraine wasn't mentioned one time. 75 years was mentioned 17 times. That was the number one mention in the entire article. 17 times. It was celebrating Madeleine Albright, her flee from Nazi Germany, and her abhorrent attitude towards Nazis and imperialism. 75 years of countries joining together to oppose any type of Russian expansion. Russia was mentioned 7 times in the article. In no way, shape, or form did Blinken say anything about Ukraine. Now, let me listen to this.
Roadmap to reach this. Yes, indeed. We did talk about the NATO summit and Ukraine, and we'll talk about it in much greater detail in the coming days in Brussels during the NATO foreign ministers meeting. As the Allies stated in Vilnius, Ukraine will be member of NATO. For us,
this sounds like an overdub. This doesn't I'm going to listen to it again.
As the Allies stated in Vilnius, Ukraine will be member of NATO. For us, the issue is having a good and clear roadmap to reach this conclusion. And I believe that the NATO summit for the 75th anniversary will indeed be highly focused.
Okay, so to me, here's my problem, is that when I'm listening to the overdub, there is a French person speaking while Antony Blinken is talking. What you would normally hear is him in English and then translating it to French.
I heard that.
Why in the fuck is this guy translating Blinken into English when he speaks English. Does anyone want to explain that to me?
No.
I mean, my first reaction is Blinken doesn't need an English interpreter. He's not speaking French. He's not parlez-vous français. He's not doing that. He's speaking in English. So why the fuck are they interpreting him in English? It's an overdub. This is not what he said. I completely disagree. My first reaction is this is a completely fabrication. And that's my initial response. So how did you guys miss that? Why are they interpreting him in English? Bueller? Someone, I'll wait for your response.
She said that's why I brought it up.
Yeah, but how did you, Kristen, you are a smart, intelligent, passionate woman. How did you miss that? You know what I mean? I mean, by the way, I read the entire statement. He said nothing of the sort. And I can speed read like a fucking champ. Olivia can tell you. I can tell you the whole article. And if you want, I can rewrite most of that article for you. In no way, shape, or form did he mention Ukraine. Ukraine wasn't mentioned one time in the entire speech. So the entire speech, and it wouldn't be. When you're talking about NATO, you do not mention Ukraine. That is a foreign policy nightmare. That's World War III. There's no way. No, 100% bunked.
So a couple people have asked if a country is currently at war, can they join NATO while they're at war?
Sure, if you want to create World War III. So listen, Ukraine isn't even 10 years ago. They weren't fundamentally ready, and they met none of the criteria. The power of the oligarchs, the power of the mafia, the embezzlement, the money laundering. You can talk about the Azov battalion and the splintering of certain governments, the civil war in the Donbass region. Ukraine was in no way, shape, or form even qualified 10 years ago, and they've done nothing to improve themselves since. They will not be in NATO until there is a agreed upon mutual treaty between Russia and Ukraine, and I can't imagine that they would ever join NATO because of that agreement that Putin will ultimately make with Vladimir Zelensky. And it will be that Ukraine never joins NATO. And the agreement will be that Putin does not invade if they never join NATO. And that should stop this war right now. See, I want to explain something. Do we have time? Yeah, we got 6 minutes. Yes. So everyone understands, Joe Biden is a feckless coward. Kristen, you want it to be false. It is false. Kristen, it's not a want. Why are they interpreting him in English? That's all you got. You hear the person in French talking. That's not him. He's not French. I don't even know if he speaks French. And if he does, he's certainly not speaking in French as a U.S. government official. No, I don't think of anything to worry about. But here, let's just make this point. I want you to look at Iran. Iran attacked through proxy American soldiers. Those missile attacks created TBIs in some of our soldiers. What does he do? Nothing. He doesn't respond. He responds not even with sanctions, nothing to Iran. Nothing. They told Israel to stop attacking Hamas when they were openly attacked. You take a look at Havana and you take a look at South American embassies where Russians have been using ultrasonic sound to create tinnitus in people's ears and creating these horrible reactions to certain frequencies. And this has been linked to Russia. And nothing's happened. You take a look at Yemen. You take a look at the Houthis who have attacked the United States and were told to not do anything. You have a major earthquake that takes place and literally flattens multiple buildings in Taiwan, a possible tsunami which has been called off at this point in Japan, and China's rushing drills all over Taiwan for bombing campaigns and naval assault campaigns. And Biden doesn't do anything. Biden is weak. He has no spine. He controls everybody. He won't allow Ukraine to hit Russia. Do you know why Ukraine hasn't done any counterattacks? Because the United States have told them that they can't. And if they do, they stop weapons. Do you hear what I'm telling you? There's actual concrete orders and directives from the White House administration to the chiefs of staff, to the Joint Chiefs of Staff, to absolutely, with no equivocation, instruct Vladimir Zelensky to not attack Russia in any way, shape, or form. And he's done it. We know listen, I think it's pretty safe to say that Ukraine hit the pipeline, probably with US and UK assistance, okay? We can say that. But as a secondary plan, I don't believe the United States signed off on it. I think they know Ukraine did it, and they have slapped them repeatedly for it. This is why I feel they didn't get the F-15s and the F-16s that they wanted, is because of that. And that's when some of the Scandinavian countries came in and gave them Su-27s, whatever, to supplement for the 16s, because I think the U.S. government said, you don't fucking defy us. We told you not to, and you blew up the pipeline. Remember, they also sent a drone in and hit Moscow and the Kremlin and blew up a drone on top of the Kremlin. That was Ukraine. So they have broken promises to the United States, but they are saying, do not attack Russia. And they are putting, Havana syndrome, thank you. They are putting an absolute kibosh on anything that's not proxy related, and Ukraine can never attack Russia. Okay, I don't want to hear that Joe isn't controlling. That's like people who say, when I say democracy, they say, we're a republic. You know what I'm saying. I said the administration. Okay? So please, that doesn't add to the conversation, Karen. It doesn't move the conversation forward. We all understand that Joe doesn't know what the fuck is going on, but his administration does. So in all intents and purposes, me saying Joe is the administration that's currently in the White House, okay? I'm not frustrated. Yes, I am. I'm frustrated. I'm sick of hearing that. It's like, instead of focusing on what I'm saying, you guys are focusing on minutia that doesn't matter. Who cares? The whole point is that Zelensky has been told that he cannot retaliate against Russia no matter what happens. You've got Taiwan that have been told that you cannot retaliate against China. You've got Benjamin Netanyahu, who's been told that he can't run and kill Hamas the way he needs to or wants to. Hey, Spreely, folks, have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Yes. God bless to Spreely. We're not on in the morning. You guys got to watch us on social, but we'll record the show and I'll put it on Boxcast so you guys can watch it on demand. But anyway, my whole point is that the M1 Abrams that we gave Ukraine, they already have been hit and destroyed by Russian. Of course they have. They don't know what the hell they're doing. And Karen, I'm not coming down on you, but my whole point is it's semantics, right? We all know that Joe Biden's not making these calls. We understand that. But these calls are being made nonetheless. Why do you think Ukraine hasn't done a forward offensive? Because one, they don't have the personnel, but second, they've been told not to. So Joe Biden is completely weak in this endeavor. And the one thing that I believe Donald Trump will do if he came in is he would take the leash off Ukraine. Yeah. Putin doesn't want that to happen. Putin wants this exactly the way it is right now, a stalemate. And he wants to squeeze Ukraine to give up the Donbass region, to create a 75 to 100-mile buffer between the border of Ukraine, make it Russian territory, and create a demarcation line, a DMZ, if you will, between Ukraine and Russia. I'm telling you right now, you want to form a peace treaty? Go to Putin and say that Ukraine will never join NATO. You say that, and then he says, I'll never invade NATO. That's it. It's the end of the story. But see, the United States doesn't want that. And NATO, no, scratch that. NATO doesn't want that. NATO wants to put as much possible pressure on Russia as humanly possible. And there it is. Anyway, folks, I appreciate you watching the show. Karen, I wasn't coming down on you. It's really important that we keep focused and we stay on topic. It's just not, it's not important. Whether Joe Biden is running the country or not, that is who is sitting in the chair. That is who is in the Oval Office. And he might be a puppet, but that puppet ultimately is his administration, which is Obama's administration, is making those decisions. Yes, we know this. But the decision, no matter who's making it, is a bad one. Do I want Ukraine attacking Russia? No. What I want is for the United States to pull their head out of their ass and strike a deal with Putin and either A, give him what he wants, or we need to send a very clear message that the United States is no longer going to keep our gloves on. As far as Anthony Blinken, have you gotten anything else on this?
Haven't seen anything else. A few people have said maybe it was for a different country's news channel, and that's why it was dubbed.
Yeah, but why would it be English?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why would it be English if it's another country's channel? Wouldn't it be in that Russian language or Ukrainian language or Czech?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or Farsi or Spanish or El Salvadorian? Blinken was in government for 25 years. I'm looking this up.
Okay.
No, guys, this isn't true. These people are heroes. They run in the fire. Comments on IFD strike. Yep. That's what I read. There's nothing on Twitter. Where did you find it? Was that a Twitter page that you found that? Oh, let me hold on.
It was.
I'm going to put this to bed right now. Watch this. I'll put this to bed right now. This is how I do this, just so you know. And you guys can watch along with me. What you want to do is you want to go through and check their page and look for disinformation that this is interesting because this guy seems to be anti-Trump. And he's probably trying to gaslight Republicans. But then he also has stuff like, look, he has Jesus in a transgender day of visibility, the book burnings. Is that my article? Okay, so not anti-Trump. Oh, boom, deep fake video. Here you go.
True and international effort to pressure. I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true and international effort to pressure.
So when you're perusing these pages, just go through it a little bit. And then if you see the behavior that's in question and you see it right here with a deep fake video, now you know. Yeah, you know what I mean? Does that make sense, everybody? So now you've got two strikes. You think it's a deep fake video. Now you see deep fake video. And if you continue to dig, you're going to shoot this person's credibility in the foot because I promise you're going to see something else. That isn't going to be true, right? Something that would be fake. Breaking in a bizarre turn of events, another ship has collided with a bridge. That did happen, but it didn't crash the bridge. I know this story. Okay, Stephanie Diller. It looks like this person reposted. Laura Logan. That tells you a lot. Right, here's the P. Diddy thing with Justin Bieber. This went through a lot of the Q channels that, there were some sexual things going on because of this video. I honestly, it looks like a lot of pages that I see. It doesn't, not a lot. It seems to be bunk. But this video, I don't even know if it was originally sourced by him. So let's see where it originally came from. And then we'll go. Because Olivia's not feeling well. No, he put it up. Yeah, so it's his origination, but this Smotry Media. What is Smotry Media? That sounds Russian. This could be Russian disinformation. It is Russian. Smotry. That's Russian. So now that we have Russian, Smotry Media is a video sharing website. It's Moscow. Smotry Media is on TikTok. This is how you do investigation, people. Boom, Russian. It's all Russian propaganda. So Smotry Media is a Russian propaganda site. So this was created by the Russians to create disinformation and propaganda like they always do. There you go. Solved. Everyone good? Feel good? That's how you disprove shit. Take your time, find out where it's from, look at the clues, and then you can figure it. Yeah, it's Russian propaganda. That's exactly right. Smotry. All right, folks, that's how you sniff out a lie, like, in 2 seconds. That's welcome to my life. Thanks for watching the Dumb Unfriend Me show. Olivia, any parting words?
Thanks for watching.
Thanks
for donations.
She wants
Night,
out.
y'all.
Yeah, by the way, folks, just the last cry, Living Go, is linktapgo/The Dumb Show. You guys can donate. Please go over to thedumbshow.com and you guys can pick up some cool shirts like the Let's Go Brandon shirt, the Mass Media shirt. We have some great clothes over there. We'd really appreciate you helping us out. If you can donate at linktapgo, or you can go to thedumbshow.com and click on the donate button and you can help us out as well. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you in the morning. We'll have a new article in the morning. God bless. Take care. And take care of each other. Do that. See ya.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.